See if anybody comes in. Oh, there's people watching. Hold on, let me have a look. Right, what am I doing? Who we got? Hello, Susie. Hello, Ruben. Hello, Barry. Right, now that there's some people here, there's 8 of you. So I'll turn me back and all of a sudden, you will pop up. What am I doing? I'm just playing around today. I'll explain more in a minute. What this is literally I've got most of the day to myself today. As most of you know, I go and spend weekends with my girlfriend, Kim. She's at work today, and she doesn't finish work till later this evening. So, no point in me going up there and sitting in her house on my own. So I thought I'd do a few things in here that aren't work related. This is playtime for me. It's where I get to indulge my artistic side. So I was in here last night until, hello Dan, hello Steve, Andrew, my roadie. Recently I've been challenged by one of my original mentors. We're having a bit of a competition between us, the master and the student. So it was a hollow form. I change camera, you can see what the hollow form challenge. We were going to make it public, but we decided to just keep it between ourselves, just me and him. And we're going to get it judged. So this is a piece of, it was a piece of sycamore. When I was turning it, hollowing it out last night, it developed quite a few cracks. So I decided to paint it black. I might put some Joe Sonia on there in a minute. And finally got a use for my little pigtail finial that I've been working on for so long. Yeah, how did I know that was going to come up? See, black, just waiting for some yellow. Yes, I might put yellow on it, but it'll be gold. So that's kind of a yellow. If not, I'm thinking violet. Violet Joe Sonia, maybe. That one. Where are we? There you go. Now, if you notice, pinned to the top of the chat is a link. That is the link. If you click on that, you can come in to this live. You could be a guest. You could be a guest earworm. You could be a guest turner. If you have a webcam and some headphones or a speaker and a microphone on your laptop, click the link. I'll see you pop up on the screen, and I'll bring you in. You could be a guest. We can chat while I mess about with this. It's not really going to be a lot of turning. It's going to be more painting and stuff. Turn that one off, I think. So that's the piece. You can see where the cracks are. There's not a piece I would sell. What happened to the resin blank from JP? The resin blank from JP is... There you go. Good question. Duly answered. It's right there. That's the resin blank that JP made me. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it. Spindles, what are you doing up at 5:15 a.m.? Mind you, I can't talk. I was waking up at 4. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with that. I don't want to do a bottle stopper with it because that's a waste. So, I don't know yet. Part of me says I want to cut it up into discs. Cut it up into discs and do pendants with it. But I don't know. I'm waiting for inspiration. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of pendants, any of you will follow Glenn Teagle on his YouTube channel? He was watching my live on Tuesday night. I didn't know because he doesn't go in the chat, but he was watching. Apparently he's been a subscriber for a long time. He very much enjoyed the live I did, and then he went and did a video of his own with his method of holding the pendants. So he made these chucks. Now these chucks are compression and expansion chucks held together with rubber bands. As you can see, there's rubber bands around the side, and they hold in your C-jaws, and you can expand them. Put your pendant in, work on the dome the front, turn it around, dome the back, and then you can put it in the offset jaws to drill it. Fantastic idea. So I made 2 of these myself yesterday, 2 different sizes. I've got a 54mm and a 65mm for bigger ones. So go check his video out. After this is finished, don't know how long I'm going to be. It might be hours. That'll please you, won't it? I'll put the link to his channel in the description below afterwards. But like I said, if anybody wants to pop in and chat along with me, feel free. I won't see your questions unless I look. Maybe a lidded box. I could do a lidded box, yeah. Do a lid in wood. Bit of spalted beech, maybe. Good idea, Susie. You're full of good ideas. You helped me no end the other night with that drill tip. Spindles, get yourself in front of a laptop, mate. Grab a cup of coffee, click the link at the top, and I'll bring you in as a guest. We can have a chat. And you, Susie, if you want to. I think I can have up to 6 people in. Just make it a free-for-all. Don't be shy. So I'm just sipping my coffee because coffee is life. Loads of little things to talk about today. Right, so this thing. It's hollowed out all the way down to the bottom. Goes down that far. And it's about 4 mil, 4 or 5 mil all the way down. But I'm a firm believer in hollow forms don't have to be super thin. to work. I don't see the point. So I'm finding a paintbrush. Maybe all autistic like. Palette. Where's my plastic palette? There it is. Bit of Joe Sonia. Now, if I am going to put paint on this, it's going to be part of a series of forms that I've done, all in different shape, well, sort of different shapes. But got all very dusty. That one, with Joe Sonia Gold, and that one, with Joe Sonia Gold, and that one hasn't been parted off yet, but there's that one as well. This is, you can see there's a theme running here, isn't there? Black and gold. So just for a change, this one, I think I'm going to do violet instead. Never mind spindles. Don't worry. Thank you. So just giving these a shake. One of those pieces was one of my assessment pieces for the RPT. So very. That's probably enough. Probably too much. And just because I like to. Barry's not at home, he's in the car. Susie, it's looking like you're going to be the one. A little bit of flow medium, just to thin this paint down a little. Got far too much on here. The person who's done this challenge, it'd be quite funny if he's watching, because he can see me decorate the piece he's going to lose to. If he is in the chat and he's just heard that, he'll soon reply, I bet you. Can't help himself. If he doesn't, he'll send me a message. I'm just going to get my stool because I paint better when I'm sat down. Don't we all? Susie's never been too shy. Susie, you're one of the most prominent contributors to the chats in all the lives. You're in everybody's lives. We want to see what you look like, and we want to hear what you sound like. And I had to think about that before I said it. All you do is click the link, look at the camera when you talk, say hello. I won't even put you on screen, we'll just hear your voice. Anyway, don't have to if you don't want to. Right. Yeah, it is a big difference. Right. Now that's going to have a finial off there. So I think band. Now, do I do 2 bands or just 1? I think maybe on this one it's going to be just 1 band color. I've got this slowed right down. I think we're going to try to find my webcam headset to see whether it's showing. Okay, not a problem. Chicken. Right, so I've put the color in a palette. I've just mixed it up. Now all I'm going to do is wipe off a bit of the excess. Remember, it's rotating towards me. So I think lay the colour on. Try and get it going on evenly. That's it. See what that looks like. Now, see how I've gone over just a little bit, just there. So I'm going to have to bring the band out to just there without it being too excessive. Because I'd like a nice, crisp, defining line. So I'm going to start out here, come back in. That's better. I don't know if that light's blowing you guys out a bit. That's a bit better. Try breathe in. Now that's better. That's got a nice, crisp, defining line there. Now I'm just going to wipe a bit of the paint off this brush. Not quite dry brush. That's my kitchen roll. Everyone else hold their breath when they paint. Headstock is starting to look like a Dalek, all in all. I see what you mean, yeah. Exterminate. I'll keep saying it to anybody that joins in. Shut up, Andrew. Doesn't. These are all one colour pieces. So just let that dry. While that's drying, take it off. And we can have a look at the finial, because that still needs possibly more paint. So that looks quite nice, actually. Quite pleased with that. It's actually more of a purple. I know it says violet, but it is really a purple. Right. Morning, Stephen. How are you, mate? Now this one, rough as old dogs. This needs more paint. When in doubt, paint it. Now, because this is a pigtail, it's spiraled this way. So as I paint it, I need to reverse the lathe so it's spinning with the spiral, if you like. Does that make sense? Morning, Wayne. Wayne might come in. Wayne, the link's at the top of the chat if you want to pop in and say hello. Everybody else is chickened out. That's a word. I always say to myself, was that too much? Was that too much paint? I always overspray. So now we get to sit here and watch paint dry. Oh, Christ, he did. Blimey, mister, that was quick. Hello, buddy.
Good morning. How's it going?
I'm going fine, mate. How are you?
Wonderful.
I'm going to leave you on the side of the screen there, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind.
It's join Mark and watch paint dry.
Oh, good.
So did you see that bit?
Oh, I didn't see that. No, I've just come in.
Okay.
Very nice.
Just Sonia Violet. And this is going to be the
this chat. So
pigtail is going to go in it. I know, Stephen. That's one of my biggest failings. I overspray. I work on the premise that if there are any flaws in the wood, the paint will cover it up. that's why I always overspray. And then I end up cutting it all back because I've got runs and bubbles. This one's looking all right. There's no ripples.
Runs and bubbles. At this time of the morning.
Yeah, I know. God, blimey, I'll tell me about it. Oh, now that you're here, I think you and I spoke about this the other night before you were live. One of these things. The woodcut Proform.
Oh yes,
tools.
yes, we did.
Right.
We did. Yes.
For those that weren't privy to that conversation, if anybody ever wants to buy a tool that scares the crap out of you, this is the one. Because it's basically a hook tool, the carbide hook, that's covered by a brass adjustable bevel. I've been playing with this for the last couple of weeks because I had the opportunity to buy this secondhand from somebody. And this piece I did last night, I hollowed out with this, and it took me literally about 6 minutes. You stick it in and hang on, and it just decimates the wood that's inside in massive great ribbons that you have to stop every couple of seconds and drag out. But by heck, doesn't it shift some wood?
Yeah, that's why it's got the adjustable brass shoulder thing on, so you can adjust the depth of the cut.
I've got the depth down to about the thickness of a piece of paper. And I also discovered that that nut on the top needs to be very tight because that will move.
Yeah.
And if that moves while you're in there, your cut goes from paper thin to 1/2 inch wide in one stroke, and then it pulls you into the piece. But cracking piece of kit. Once you've got used to them, absolutely cracking. Susie, you've just asked a question. How did you make the spiraling finial? Is it multi-axis turning? No, dear. What you do, the easiest explanation. Turn a piece of wood down to a column, for want of a better word, and shave the column down to a point as if you were doing like a Christmas tree. So you're shaping it down like a Christmas tree. So you've now got a cone. and then with a file, you lay in your spiral. I can stop that turning now because that's getting dry. So you'd start just above where you want it to end, and you lay in with a file, and you lay in the lines, and then using a Dremel with one of these saber-tooth burrs, you cut down into the lines that you laid in with the file all the way along until you are happy with that. And then comes the fun bit. Once you've got the depth of the spirals that you want, you turn your lathe back on, and then with a skew, you just do a final shaping curve, shaping cut to the end, and you get your point at the end. And then it's 3,000 hours of hand sanding after that, basically. And I was shown how to do this by the great Stuart Mortimer, who is an absolute master at it, and is a master. He was bestowed the honour of becoming a master woodturner a few years ago. And it's called a pigtail finial, Susie, because it's supposed to represent a pig's tail. They're fun to do, but you've got to have patience. Are we ready for another coat of paint yet? Yeah, I think so. So what are you up to today then, Wayne?
I'm hoping to get my new camera mounts fitted.
Now, was that too much? Oh, good. Oh, yes. You said, which ones did you go for in the end?
Oh, I can't remember. It was ones that Deal recommended.
Was it the clampy ones with the little flexible ball joint thing?
No. It's well, is there? I think there is
These.
a flexible. See that?
That one. You see this one?
No, nothing like that.
No. Okay.
No, it's a 3-piece. You sort of the sold as a desk clamp, but I'll be obviously doing it from the rafters in the workshop.
Right. Yeah.
It's a 3-piece and they're extendable and everything, so I can get cameras right into the position I'm wanting.
Okay. Yeah.
And probably add a couple more cameras.
Oh, ideal. Nice. I don't know if that's too bright. Yeah. You can see that now. Now, do I put a complementary line of violet on the base of that finial to complement the line that's going around? Hello, John. Adam. How you doing, mate? Got to create more wood turning madness. It's warmed up a bit today. Take care,
What it's
Stephen.
called, Adam.
Magic arm. I do have one, but it's, funnily enough, I saw it in a charity shop. Like a long, thin, bendy arm. Like these.
Hang on, I'll go and get one.
That one. Like that. But although it's supposed to be big enough to hold a tablet, or strong enough to hold a tablet, you put the camera on it, and it just gradually falls down over time.
No, that doesn't help.
No, so it's like a slow time-lapse movement for the camera. While I'm here, I can also do things like sharpen pencils. God, I tell you, the thrill you people have coming into my lives. What did that Beckett do today? Sharpen pencils, waffled on, talked rubbish. Adam, you've got a webcam. You can join in. Links at the top of the chat.
It's just called a removable, flexible desk stand.
I'll bring you up.
God, there's a hell of a delay on this.
There is today for some reason. There you go. You're on the screen on your own.
Well, I'll just show you the picture on the back. That'll be the easiest thing to do.
Hello, Pete. You've got a webcam too. Links at the
So
top of the chat.
that's what it looks like.
Oh, right. That looks proper sturdy.
Yeah, I've got 2 of them, so I can get them set up. Yeah,
Ideal.
I've got about a
Bring you out of
30-second delay.
Which is best? That one? That one. That one.
I'll tell you what, Mark, I'll drop out and come back in just to see if it's...
Okay.
Oh, hang on, I'm on the bloody wrong thing. I was actually on YouTube there. I should have been on StreamYard. Prat.
At the end of the day, Ian, where did that come from? At the end of the day, Wayne, we're woodturners, not tech gurus.
Well, that's true.
Why the hell did I call you Ian?
I've got no idea.
That's my brother's name.
No idea. So, have you decided? Are you putting Violet on there or no?
I don't know if it'll be too much. I think it'd be too much.
We'll just leave it then.
Yeah.
What's on the pot? What colour's on the pot?
Violet.
Oh, go on. Stick a wee band on. It'll complement the wee band. Sorry, it'll complement the band on the pot.
Yeah.
And if it all goes Pete Tong, it was my fault.
Yep. You heard it here first, folks. Right. Then just take off the excess of the brush and then almost dry brush, because I've got a blob just there. Yeah. It wasn't a blob, it was a fleck.
Susie has just said, which is something I was actually thinking as well, because it's what I tend to do. When you're painting like this, why don't you use your tool rest to steady your hand on?
I would, but I've got this down, protecting the bedways from
bars.
spray. So normally when I'm doing the other pieces, like the bigger one, I wouldn't have this there, and I would use the tool rest. Yeah, I like that. That's subtle. Foul. Pete. It's true.
When we say no, remember what happened the last time you listened to Wayne's suggestion. Yeah, I think.
Oh yeah, that's true. The suggestion
Mind you,
was
I did.
right. It was the execution that was rubbish.
I was looking through videos yesterday to download, to edit, and I came across a textured and coloured vase that I did not long after you did the yellow and black, and I did that one in yellow and black, and it worked
Yes,
fine.
you did. It did. I remember you doing it. I remember you saying, I've done this because to show Mark how it's supposed to be done. If I give you. I've just found out yesterday. I'm demoing again at Yandles on the 24th of February. They've asked me to do 2 demos in the day.
Oh, nice.
They're experimenting with having double slots. So I'm actually going to be demonstrating from hello FKO. How are you, mate? Um, Demonstrating from 3 till 5, doing my Wayne's about to wet himself laughing when I say what it is I'm going to be doing. My square plates.
Oh, God, here we go.
That one.
You want us to
One of
come down and give
those.
you a hand?
Yeah, come down so I can keep the corners on. So that demo is going to be 3 till 5. Shut it, you. And then from 5:30 to 7:30, I'm doing my textured and coloured. Doing that one.
Oh, yes,
Three.
I do like that one.
No, it's in a 3 till 5:30. That's going to have rainbow waxes. And luckily, they don't do a yellow rainbow wax. So no black and yellow will be involved. No black and yellow will be harmed in the making of. Right, I think maybe another coat. That's dry again. It's starting to look a bit better too. Uh, Reverse. Yes, you do, Pete. Pete, you can come down and keep Wivey in check. Oh, no.
What you done now?
Did I just overspray it? I think I might have done.
Yeah, you probably sprayed on the violet as well.
Oh, I did. Oh, I'm such an idiot. This is why I don't do colour. Oh, it's so confusing. Oh, I bloody have as well. Oh, crap. Can't believe I just. Pete, I like Pete's saying, told you before, much easier. Turn a round plate, then square it off on the bandsaw.
Well, to tell you the truth,
That's,
I've
yeah,
seen I've seen a hell of a lot of people do that back in the day.
that's actually what I think I might do with this one. Just take the corners. This is the one I messed up with. Handles. I'm going to have to get that out, don't I? And paint that again. And then don't do any more black. Can't believe I'm such a knob. Was that bottom bit dry yet? Yes. Right. Take 2.
Forking hours has said, turn the lathe off for 5 minutes. He's going to be sick.
Okay. That's actually better than last time. I didn't go all the way up this time. That's good. And then like I did before, take the excess off the brush. So it's almost dry brushing. Pete, you going to come in and say hello to everyone? Or are you still naked? There's an image for you, everybody. A naked Pete from Twisted Trees.
Oh, please. I've just had a
Wayne, the sound of disgust in your voice was positively palpable. He loves you really, Pete. Leave it alone. Right. That's fine. Put that away as well before I grab the bloody thing and spray it. Oh, we've got all the fun and excitement in a minute. We're going to be able to part things off. Actually, do I want to part them off? No, I don't. I want to varnish them. Not varnish, lacquer. Get me lacquering out.
Oh, is that using the new spray gun?
Yes. Yeah, the new spraying system. Basically, I was threatened with bodily violence by Stuart Mortimer if he ever saw me use rattle cans for lacquering
All right.
ever again. So I took his advice and I bought a proper spray gun, which you'd be impressed when I even made a holder for it. Which is there. Which is basically just a block of wood with a hole drilled in it.
There you go.
It works.
It works.
And it gives a more even coat straight out of the container. So there's no shaking tins. You don't have to worry about temperature, the tin being cold. That's got the lacquer in it. It's a they call it a 1K lacquer. So you don't have to mix a hardener with it, which would be
All
a
right.
2K.
Okay.
2K is like a two-part lacquer
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
use in the automobile industry. They use this as well. And if you build up the coats, it gives a really deep shine. Right. That's dry
Right.
enough
So
now that I can.
I take it if you actually left it in the reservoir, would it actually thicken up and harden up if you didn't clean it out?
No, because it's airtight. It's got a lid on.
All
You
right.
take that
Okay.
off, and the air gets in. So you take that off when you spray.
Yeah.
Put that back in, and you can leave the it's a 1K acrylic smart clear made by a company called U-Pol, and it's their System 20. So it's that
All
one.
right.
Now that
Okay.
tin
So
that's a litre, and that costs 20 quid
right.
for a litre.
How often do you clean the gun out, Mark?
Probably once every 2 weeks, 10 days.
Right. I'm
Just
going to be. I'm
thinners.
asking loads of questions here.
Just thinners.
What pressure do you run it at?
35
35.
off the compressor,
Yeah.
but the problem is the gun has down the bottom here, there's a regulator on the gun, just there.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
So you can regulate how much spray comes out. So although it's like 25, 35 off the compressor, I don't think it's that coming out the end of
Right. I'm
the
with you.
nozzle.
I'm with you.
I just do it I visualize. So I'll give it off the piece. I'll spray over the back of me here so I can see the cloud that's coming off, and I'll
Yeah.
adjust to get the cloud that I
And
want.
is that just run off your main compressor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be doing it. I'll do it in a second. I'm gonna spray the other one. That's all dry now. So that can go over there. Some forward. Yeah, that's dry. So I'm just gonna spin this.
Wivvy's asking what CFM does the gun require?
Oh, no idea.
Well,
let me see if I can find the box for it, because here we go. Right. Because I'm such a trashy person, I never throw anything away. 8 CFM, 600 milliliter cup. It's a 1.4 millimeter nozzle. It runs 43 to 58 psi, so I must be about 45 psi then. 65 to 110 milliliters per minute, and it's 1/4 inch air inlet, and it's made by US Pro. There you go. Right, so
Did you just get that from Amazon?
no, I got that, to be honest, I got that at Harrogate.
All right, okay.
You know that big tool stall up in the corner by the RPT stand?
Oh yes, haha.
All
Yeah.
the tables laid out?
Yes.
It's on there. There you go. Right.
Susie has said, I think a thin silver line between the black and the blue would look nice.
I'm sure it would. Am I going to do it? No. Right. Let me just get this.
Remember to mute.
Oh, too late. Don't know who it was. Don't know who it was, but they're not answering when I call them back. So,
Oh well.
never mind.
Oh, Susie's asking what I'm going to be turning tonight. I'm going to be turning a 3-sided vase, because I'm going to start doing me off-center stuff, which may well, depending on how time goes on, it may well turn into a box with a lid.
Sounds good. That's better.
And the good thing with doing this, it's quite a basic off-center piece.
All right. Good. I think I actually do need to clean this out. It's probably due for a clean out. I've been using it for a bit. So how many cameras are you going to have in place now then, Wayne?
Oh, I'm not actually sure yet, Mark. I'll see what happens this afternoon. I've already got. Well, I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 set up to go on the lathe, and then the main one that sits on the top of my monitor.
Yeah.
It really all depends on how many USB ports have I got left.
On your computer.
Yeah, I'm trying to think there, because the thing is, if you run the cameras through a powered USB hub, sometimes OBS picks them up as all the same camera and it doesn't separate. So you actually, as well, for
Yeah.
cameras, is actually having them straight into the USB ports on the computer.
Yeah. That's what I do. I stopped using the hub. I mean, when I changed to C920s, because I got a really good deal from a guy, because I bought 3 at the same time, and they worked out about 45 quid each for the 3. So it was, 135 quid for 3 C920s. And he said, try not to plug them into a powered hub if you can help it.
Yeah. So what I've done, I've got all the like the accessory stuff, me wireless mouse and keyboard. I've got them in the powered hub, and the dongle for using me headphones, I've got that in the powered hub, so that frees up the USB ports on the computer. I think I've got about 10 USB ports on the computer anyway.
Yeah. I've only got one more left on the computer I've got here. Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras, 5 cameras plugged in, a fan, a ring light, these headphones, and my keyboard.
Right, Wivvy's having to
See
go.
you later, Wavy. Yeah.
He's going to play with some toys he got delivered from Axminster yesterday. And Pete
Three-sided
said,
offset.
yeah, maybe basic, but very effective. Some
Yeah.
of the more intricate off centers can look so complex the effect is lost. Oh, Colin's
Yes.
in. Morning, Colin. Well, the
Hello,
good thing
Colin.
about this, the good thing about the one that I'm doing tonight, is that it's only off center at the tailstock end. It's actually centered at the headstock end.
Oh, that's good. I still struggle, in all seriousness, I still struggle with doing off-center turning. Now, whether everybody knows my story, so I'm not going to go back into all the ancient history, but one of the times when I died on the operating table, I was deprived of oxygen for quite some extended period, and I did suffer slight brain damage. And I'm sure that for some reason, when I do off-center turning, I start to get dizzy. Literally, I can feel myself feeling
Yeah.
like I'm going to fall backwards. So I don't do off-center turning.
Does that not
Purely
happen when
as
you're doing this? Does that not happen when you're doing the spirals?
that pigtail spiral does affect me a little bit. I
Right. Okay.
can't I can't look at it when it's turning too much. I can turn it, that final cut that I said to Susie about with the skew, just to shape. I can do that, but that's all I can do.
Right.
The spiral, do you mean like the spiral pieces like the vase?
No, no. I was thinking more of the pigtail.
No, but I can't sit and watch the pigtail turn
Yeah.
while it's drying. I have to look above it or away because it makes me start to feel dizzy, which is really weird because I've never had that before. So I'm sure it's an effect of something that happened to me while I was in the hospital. Which, it's one of those things. Some people can't turn you because they're allergic to it. I can't do off-center turning. I'd love to be able to.
Yeah.
And that eccentric truck that Jamie's going to send me, I'll be able to use that for doing flat work with, like the pendants and the earrings and things like that.
Yes. Yeah.
That doesn't bother me. It's it's how can I say it's the elongated
Yes, I'm
off-center
with you.
stuff. It just I don't know. It's like I start to look at it and almost nod in the same rhythm as the piece is going round, and then all of a sudden I find myself lying on the workshop floor. And what happened?
Shane's
And
just
what
come
I
in. Good morning, Shane.
hello Shane, how you doing, buddy?
And Pete's got a bit of information for you there for the cameras.
Yes, I've got you. Yeah, you did that with me, Pete. I've got the Logi tune. Um, I've got the Logi tune on my computer already. What do you have? You can see me sitting here drinking a cup of coffee. Hello. Not much happening today, Shane. Just a bit of a workshop play around. Doing this hollow form with a bit of paint on it. Just letting the first couple of coats of lacquer dry. I'm going to do another coat in a minute.
That wood cut you've got, Mark, I don't know if
Yes,
they still do it, but they used to do a swan neck as well.
they do. I've got that too.
Because, like I said the other night, I've got the one of the
That's
original ones that came out. Oh yeah, yeah.
that's the swan neck. It was one of those off. It was one of those deals. Bearing in mind these things are like 300 quid each, aren't they? I think
Oh,
they're
I
about
haven't looked at
300.
the price. I haven't looked
I
at
think
the
they're about
prices of the
300.
ages,
Yeah,
tell you the truth.
I think these are 80, and the handle with the straight is like 330 something. And I
Bloody
got
hell.
the handle, and this is still in its packaging for 200 quid. So
Oh,
I
nice.
couldn't really say no. There's another wood turner I bought them from, a very well-known YouTube wood turner, but I won't say his name unless he tells me
Adam's just
explicitly
bought a
that
hooked.
a hooked what? Oh, a Weedman hook tool. They're supposed to be really, really good. Yeah, because that's uncovered, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
That's
uncovered.
just
Yeah,
a hook.
yeah, it's basically half a ring tool.
Yeah. See, now I like ring tools. I really do get
So
on
do
well
I.
with ring tools.
Yeah, me as well. I'd love to
Even
have
that
a go with the hook tool.
a few weeks back, or well, it was a couple of months ago, I did a pop-up live on a Saturday, and I was clearing that corner over there, and I had a hook tool up on the board, not a hook tool, ring tool, and I bashed it, and it dropped, landed on the concrete, shattered the ring,
Oh, right.
and when I went to pick it up, I cut myself, and then 2 minutes later, I moved my radiator and burned my hand on the radiator. So I was having one of those mornings, and it made it even worse. The ring tool that I broke was a 1-inch Sorby ring tool, which you
Oh,
can't get,
right.
and it was Pete's.
Oh,
So how
dear.
gutted did I feel? Luckily, I put a shout out to the community, and another RPT, Andy Pickard, saw my post and said, I got one of those. Do you want it? I said, yes, please. So he sent it straight to Pete. And the one he sent Pete is a Crown, 1-inch.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
But I've got,
I think the one
I,
I've got's a Crown.
yeah, this is a Crown. That's a Crown. But that's the 1/2 inch.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna use the 1-inch because I'm not as crazy as Pete is. So I'm just gonna use the 1/2 inch. Yes, Pete, it was a some mothers do have a moment. And the board, that brown board there, that fell over and hit me on the head when the thing fell on the floor just before I cut myself on the thing, and then I burnt myself moving the radiator to pick everything.
And all this was live.
It's slowly, yeah, you could go back and watch it. It's about 38 minutes in. It's hilarious. It's like literally like a Benny Hill moment. What can Mark do to himself next?
Oh, Chris Dodd has just come in. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, that's right. I hate doing that. Problem with hollow forms, I don't know if you find it, Wayne. There's nowhere you can touch where it won't be seen.
No. Yeah, there's no way you can touch to tell if it's dry. Unlike doing a platter, you can always touch in the centre to see if it's dry because you haven't turned it out yet.
Now, the nice thing about using this that I've found, it gives a really good even coat. And you have to be even more of a complete idiot than I am to overspray with it. Because it atomizes the lacquer such a wide spray area, that's why it gives an even coat, but it doesn't overspray like the shaker
Right.
cans do.
Yeah.
The shaker cans, the nozzles are much more concentrated,
Yeah.
so it's a
So
narrower band of spray.
the nozzle on that gun, is that I was going to say adjustable is the wrong word. Can you
Yes,
turn it from portrait to landscape?
yes,
Right.
you
Okay.
can. So you can undo this blue ring, turn that, and then lock the ring back up again.
Right.
This adjusts the needle, and
Yeah.
that one there
Adjust the pressure.
adjusts the pressure.
Grand.
Well, not so much the pressure, the volume of spray,
Right.
because
Okay. Yeah.
I think they're two different things. It's still coming out at 45 psi, but I don't know how to explain it. Pressure isn't the same as volume. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So 45 psi's worth of lacquer is coming out, but at a lower volume of material.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. There's 21 people sat here watching me talk waffle. If there's anybody out there that does car spraying, bodywork and stuff, feel free to let me know. I'm a complete idiot because I don't know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, I'm a wood turner. I'm not a car body specialist or a spray paint specialist. There's also a knob on the side there. I'm not quite sure what that does.
Okay.
It's got a positive and minus on it. I haven't touched it. I've just left it where that is. I've got to go uptown and get some thinners in a minute, and I've got to clean that out. From the instructions, all you do is empty out the lacquer that's
Yeah.
in there,
Yeah.
fill it with thinners, and just spray it through.
Yes.
Yeah. We were talking about this earlier, Colin, that I'm not knocking, all right, I'm not knocking Hampshire Sheen, I'm not knocking Chestnut, I'm not knocking Halfords, because I've got Chestnut, Halfords, and Hampshire Sheen rattle cans down in there. The only problems with, oh, thank you, Steve. There you go. There's a wood turner who knows what he's talking about. The only problem with the rattle cans is, one, they're very affected by temperature. So if you're in a cold workshop and you come in, they're cold, right? So the consistency of spray that comes out when they're cold is different to when they're warm. With this, doesn't matter how cold or warm it is, the spray comes out the same because it's a liquid, it's not compressed
Yeah.
to start with. So it's a liquid.
Kev's just come in. Hey, Kev.
Hello, Kev. How you doing, mate?
Now, if anybody wants to get different, because the tops that you get on the rattle cans are basically all the same. If anybody wants to get a different type of flow coming out, as in a landscape type of flow or a portrait type of flow coming out, if you go to Graph City,
Yeah.
they do different types of tops.
Hello, Les. He says apparently he needs some rust work doing on his panel van motorhome. If you know a great place to take it to be repaired, please let me know. I could tell you where you could go and get some wood or buy a lathe, but no, don't know anywhere that would. Maybe somebody in the chat will. Steve Gordon seems to know quite a lot about um, spray technique and spray guns. He might know. Oh, and Steve, can you just? I can't find my diary anywhere. Have we got a committee meeting coming up soon? Sorry, Steve. Steve and I are just going to be talking AWGB stuff for a minute. Bear with. Have we got a committee meeting next week? Because there's something in the back of my mind that says we have. Because if it's Monday, I'm not going to be able to be there. Shit. Oops, sorry.
You're not going to mark down on your calendar?
I just said I can't find my diary.
No, I meant on your phone, on your calendar.
Oh no, I don't use that. I use paper diary. End of the month. Okay. What's today? 21st, 22nd, 30th. Yeah. Brilliant. Les, mate, you don't know unless you ask. There might, for all you know, there might be somebody in the chat who goes, I do that for a living. Put this back on here so you can see what I'm doing. Now I will probably do one more coat of this. And then I will use either a wet wax pad or even 1000 grit sandpaper just to knock back the tops, the high spots. And I have a particular lacquering regime. Some people say it's too much and it's unnecessary, but I do 15 coats of lacquer because I'm sad. So every 3 coats I'll knock back, sometimes 5 coats. I'll knock back and then do 3 or 5 more coats. Knock back 3 and 5, and then the last one I'll just do it with a teacup, or I use a Meguiar's plastic polish, which is basically like a teacup, and that
So
gives
how
it a
long
glass
does it
finish.
take for that? How long does it take for that lacquer to cure?
It's dry in 10 minutes, 24 hours to cure.
Right. So do you knock back after 24 hours?
Yes, I won't knock it
Right.
back today.
No.
No, I won't knock it back today. I'll let that cure now. The other thing is, because this is an automotive lacquer, if you had a heat lamp, you could bake this dry in
Yes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
You could put this under put a heat lamp over it, not close, so 24 inches away, and that'll bake in, I think it says 20 to 30 minutes, and it'll bake solid, like they do in spray booths, the
Yes.
car repair place. They have those big temperature controlled booths. So you could bake this if you wanted to, but I don't, because I don't lacquer that much. I only do the occasional piece. But when I do it, I think it gives a depth to the shine. Some people say that after 4 coats it doesn't make any difference. I disagree. I think the more coats you do, the greater depth in the shine that you get. It looks deeper, if that makes sense. And at the end of the day, the amount of coats you do it's purely your own decision, you know? It's personal choice.
So Les is asking, does the temperature and humidity in your workshop affect the finish?
This comes back to what we were saying. Hold on, let me just see what, because you can use matte for the first 4 or so coats. Get more build because it's got 2 solids. This is a clear gloss. I don't think you were, Steve, when I showed which one it is. It's that one. U-Pol. And it's an acrylic smart clear that leaves a gloss finish. And it said allow 5 to 10 minutes flash off between coats and before bake. Touch dry in 30 minutes. Dry time is dependent on film build, temperature and humidity. Can be baked up to 60 degrees C. It's a crystal clear 1K, ready to use clear coat ideal for spot repairs, complete resprays, resulting in a high gloss, UV resistant, durable finish.
There you go. Kev is asking, could you make a spray bake booth from an old light bulb in a cardboard box, or would it be bad for the wood? You probably could, seeing as how
Probably
you
could.
can go up to 60 degrees.
The only caveat is that what you've just said in there depends on the wood. So if you're turning a piece that's completely dry, you should, notice I say should, be okay. If there's any moisture in the wood could move.
Yeah.
So you want,
And
that's why I would be wary of baking
Pete's put a link
finishes.
in for something.
Okay, well, I'll have a look at that in a minute. Does the temperature and humidity of workshop affect your finish? Right, Les, we were talking about this before with the rattle cans. So that's a clear lacquer. That's a Halford's clear lacquer. Right, now I'm going to be controversial now. All the lacquers that we buy from the 2 big companies, and I'm not going to name them specifically, but you know who I'm talking about. I bet you, as sure as bears poo in the woods, their lacquer and this lacquer and every other spray lacquer you get is probably made in the same factory. Because there can't be that many places that make it. So that's the controversial bit. These tins, that's been in my workshop overnight. That's really cold. So until that warms up, the consistency of the spray that comes out of there is going to be different to when it warms up. So it's going to be one way when it's cold. It'll be a different way when it's warm. So you have to take that into consideration when you use these cans. When you use that, because that's liquid, that's a liquid lacquer in there, it's not affected by the temperature. So that comes out of that nozzle the same as whether this workshop's cold, hot, warm. Humidity will affect it once it's on the wood, but that's the same as if that or anything you'd spray. Even if you're spraying dyes or stains, they're affected by humidity. It's just that for consistency of finish, this is better. So I'm just going to do the final coat
No,
now.
if you're doing any sort of paint work, anything like that as well, and you are going to use rattle cans, Graph
Typical.
City is one of the best places to go to.
See, that's 3 really good sprays there. That was quite a good covering, quite a heavy covering of lacquer, but it hasn't run because it's vaporized or atomized so widely. Yeah, I've got it on my chuck, and I've got it on the wall and my light and my camera, and doesn't smell as bad as the rattle cans either, which is nice. Because means I can use it in here. I do need to just open the door because I have had a bit of a build up.
Andy Woodwork Learner's just come in. Mark, I'm going to have to shoot off, sunshine.
All right, buddy. Thanks for popping in.
No problem. I will catch you all later.
See you
Bye for
tonight.
now.
So if anybody else wants to come in, the link is at the top of the chat. Just click on the link. You need a webcam on your laptop. Yes, they are being mistreated, but I will clean them with a wire brush. You'll get to play with them when you come down, Pete. Oh, Pete, I found a place that does has a massive supply of second-hand doors. We could build that whole unit indoors, just different doors, which I actually quite like the sound of. The recycling centre at Bideford. And they're cheap as chips. I can get 5 doors for about 25 quid. Everybody else hasn't got a clue what I'm talking about. We're building a soundproof room for my dust extractor because it's incredibly loud. There's 24 people sat here watching lacquer dry. You're mad. Got nothing better to do. I'll change camera so you can see my coffee drinking technique again. You know what the best bit is? When this coat's dry, I've got to lacquer the pigtail next. So what's everybody else doing this weekend then? Anybody up to anything interesting? Mark, where's your nearest supply of bacon buddies? Oh, well, there's a Subway just up the top. You can have just bacon if you want. Or there's a bakery half a mile that way. Does bacon buddies? 9:30. It's only 9. It's 9:30. Oh, it's 9:30 p.m. where you are. I was gonna say it's later than that. It's up past 11 here. Yeah, Colin, as you can see, my dust extractor is that big and it's that wide. So it's going to go in the corner with a room up to the ceiling, and we're going to have a door so we can empty the bag. So Mike is making a short bedways extension. Nice. Brilliant. Wivey's turning into Brian and labeling sandpaper storage. Really? Really? Is that something you want to admit in public? Yeah, that's the dust extractor. You can't see, but underneath there's a big bag. And when my chicken lady comes, she can have the last bag. But I do use it to sweep up the hoover up the floor with as well. Because I've got one of these big dust gulper things. that goes over the floor. It's very handy. Right, let's have a look. I think that's probably good enough. So that's it at the moment. As you can see, it's starting. Is that 3 or 4 coats? So that's starting to build. Now that will improve. I don't care what anyone says. If I put another 4 or 5 coats on there, that's going to look an even deeper shine. If I put 10 on there, that'll be on me. I'll be happy with that then. So that's that one there. And yes, Pete, these are being just as abused. Right, let me pick up everything that fell over here. I can touch the radiator today because it's not turned on. That keeps poking me in the... I can go over there. Hi, Donna. Pivot up and fall over, picking up. Right, so this is going to get some coats of varnish now. I keep calling it varnish. It's not varnish, it's lacquer. Now, the lathe turning in reverse for this one, because as I explained before, the spiral on this is running the opposite direction. And so now we can sit and, well, you lot can sit and watch the pigtail. I can't watch it. Because if I watch that, I fall over. And as comical as I'm sure that would be, I'm pretty sure you lot don't really want to see me fall on my ass. I'll zoom this in. There you go. So I'm looking at the screen over there. There's a screen over there, which I'm pointing at, and you can't see me pointing at. So I'm looking at that. I can't believe there's 28 of you here. Brilliant. I keep saying it. Anybody who wants to come in and be a guest, join in with the chat with me so I don't have to just keep talking to myself. The link is at the top of the chat. Press the link. Your little face will pop up on my screen and I'll let you in and we can all look at you and listen to you speak words of wisdom. I think the wood dude should come in. Yes, Les. Looking forward to it, mate. I'm doing a demo for the club, Devon Wood Turners. Mark, haven't you got a small cheapo lathe you could use for this job? Yes, it would allow me to do that. No, I haven't. Martin Boyd, hello. Nice of you to join us. No, I've only got one lathe, Bandy. I keep thinking that this is the year I'm going to get. Oh, is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Right. There's the link. Pin. Message pinned. There we go. Thanks, Pete. So as I was saying, there's now a link at the top of the chat and there. If anybody wants to come in, just need a camera and be able to hear what I'm saying. So speakers or headphones. Small lathe. I'm plans are afoot, Andy. That's all I'm going to say. There's a possibility that I might be expanding the business, which means I'll be looking at getting premises for doing the classes and workshops in. So there'll be 2 new lathes coming, and I might throw in a small portable lathe to be able to take to craft fairs and things and do demos with at craft fairs, which obviously then would remain set up here for doing multiple, because I'd have the buffing, I could have the buffing wheels set up on it. These that I used like the other night. So these buffing wheels, they could be set up on it, or it could be varnishing, lacquering 2 different pieces at the same time, or lacquering one and turning another. Oh, I'm really pleased with how that's coming out. Now the problem I'm going to have, thank you very, the problem I'm going to have is this finial going to be too tall for that piece? Don't kill it, TML 320. No, it would probably be the very small Axminster Professional, the one that Barry Oak uses or used to use, with the handles on the end. You all know I'm an Axminster fanboy, so the only lathes I'll buy for work will be. Yeah, I could do that, Pete. That is actually a really good idea. Chuck your link in for that one, mate. Chuck your link in for that video. If I had the money was no object, I love this lathe, and I would never not use this lathe. But for the school, I'd have 2 Vic Marks. And I'd probably have the Vic Mark 150 without the bed extension as a lathe to take around to craft fairs. But they're all ridiculously heavy, ridiculously expensive as well. So I'd probably get, for the school, I'll probably get, for the business, I'll get 2 406s for the students, and the small Axminster Professional one for carting around. But this workshop, it'll always be here. This workshop isn't going anywhere. This is my area. If I do get premises, is there? See, Adam, you're a Vic Mark man. I know you love the Vic Marks, don't you? Having used one for a week, I fell in love with mine. I thought it was great. Pete and I were stood next to each other working on 2 Vic Marks at Glenn Lucas's. We could catch each other sort of stroking our lathes lovingly. We both loved them. But it's the business thing is all I'm looking into grants and bursaries and all sorts. There's a lot of investment. Pete, you've put the wrong link in, mate. Anybody that watches Richard Raffin, he uses a 150. And look at all the stuff he does on that lathe. He does some fantastic stuff. I'll even excuse him using a spindle gouge to turn bowls with. Because at least he uses a 1/2 inch one and they're not big. Richard, if you ever watch any of my stuff, which is very unlikely, please explain to people why you use spindle gouge. Really, really don't want any learners hurting themselves. Richard does make everything look easy. He's been doing it for decades. Yeah, Adam, I had a go on Simon's personal lathe at the symposium last year, at the AWGB symposium, because he donated it for a week. And it was in the room that I was the cameraman for. Mark, can't get into your live stream. What do you mean? Glenn and Lisa too. Hello, Mr. Teagle. How the devil are you? I did mention you. Do you want to see what I made? You made me spend time on something yesterday, sir. Change picture. Look what I made. I made 2 of them. 2 different sizes. Rubber bands. And Glenn, I'm really sorry, mate, but I one-upped you on the rubber band stakes. Because my post office know me, and they know what I do. One of them in there watches me, and he kept me a fistful of rubber bands for free. So I saved $3.99. Welcome along, Glenn. I'm only messing about today, buddy. I'm not really doing much. What am I doing? I've just put some lacquer on a pigtail, pigtail finial, and I've been lacquering that, which is a hollow form, that's going to go on. So that's had 4 coats of lacquer, another 9 or 10 to go. That's had 1 coat, I believe. Just waiting for that to dry a little bit. Then I'm going to do again. Yes, I did see the. Yes, I did see the video, Glenn. Kev, I think you wanted to hear. Oh, Stephen, do you want to hear one for me? You should just be able to click the link and it'll bring you in. And then I can click onto your picture and bring you up on the screen. Yes, I did see the follow-up video, Glenn, but I saw that last night when I was upstairs sitting on the sofa. So I haven't had a chance to put the smaller holes in the middle. So nice for you to come in. I've really, really been enjoying your videos. I've got to say, you have a fantastic way of presenting your videos. Very enjoyable. And I don't blow smoke up people's asses. And I do believe I've actually got one of your tools. What camera am I on? This one. I believe that's one of yours. And I need a. I need a cutter for it, but I don't know which one to order. This was gifted to me, but obviously I've lost the cutter. So he's not into fancy stuff, he's just a wood turner. Shut up, you. We're all just wood turners. I do the boring stuff all week to pay the bills, and I get to play in the evenings with the fancy stuff when I get a chance. It's taking forever to dry. It's a round 9mm cutter. That's a box hollower. Okay, well, I'll go on your website later and I will order one. 9mm cutter. Okay, cool. That's not dry yet. Oh, God, here we go. Stand by your beds. Here's trouble. Anything could happen now. Hello, Stephen. It's the wood dude, everybody. Speak.
Hi guys, how's it going?
There he goes. I've had the pleasure of drinking with this man, and I can tell you from experience.
Yeah,
Not
you
only
owe
is
me
he
a beer, Mark.
I do owe you a pint. Not only is he a fantastically talented wood turner, he's also as mad as a box of frogs. Of course, everybody's been able to put the face to the name now. You can't hide anymore. You have to speak sometimes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry mate, I had to turn off the YouTube, getting an echo.
Oh, right, sorry.
So
So how are you?
good. Freezing my butt off here. It's so cold.
Really? Oh. 16 degrees in here at the moment.
I'm on 2.
2?
Yeah.
Bugger that.
I know, man, but I got to make some money. And also I got to do some stuff for a demo I'm doing next month. So got to get stuff organized here.
So where are you demoing?
Hearts and beds.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be one of my first video demos in front of lots of people. Normally it's like 4 or 5 people in their workshop. So I'm going to pretend that everybody's naked, apparently. That's what you got to do. Or is it that you've got to be naked? I can't remember.
That's me. That's in my contract.
Oh, right.
There you go, Glenn. Sorry, your comment got hidden for some reason. So I've just shown it to everybody. All those ladders, you must do some tall stuff. No, he doesn't. I saw some of Stephen's work in the flesh, as to speak. You've muted yourself. And oh, okay. He's going to use 40 flex. And one of my favorite pieces that he's done was the crackle. I think it was a black and white crackle goblet stem thing. And I thought, for some reason, I thought it was like 8 or 9 inches tall. I got it was only about 3 inches tall.
Yeah, I need more wood. I'll be doing the crackle finish at the demo. That's basically what it's going to be, I think.
Brilliant.
Because I get asked a lot, how do I do it? And it's really easy. It's not complicated, and it's cheap, really cheap to do. You don't have to buy the expensive paint.
No, you don't, do you?
I use this stuff.
Just to say to everybody.
This is line marker, right?
Yeah.
You see it, they spray it on the roads when they're going to cut the road up, or they spray it on the
Yeah.
screen. And basically you put this over something that it can't stick to. So really shiny. So your little finial, your pigtail finial,
Yeah.
if it's really shiny and covered in lacquer and you sprayed it with this, you'd get a crackle finish.
All right. So I've got to turn the other top light off because the battery's bad current. That's a really handy tip.
If you've just got silly pieces of wood, I'm just trying to find, let's see if we can find something. Here's one from the junk pile. Can you get that?
Yeah, we can see that. Hold on. Keep it there a second.
Does that
Keep
make
it there.
sense?
There you go.
So
So people can see it.
basically, it's black, like ebonizing lacquer, like
Yeah.
chestnut something, and just spray this stuff over the top. I should have some better lighting in here, but
That's
you
right.
can make anything crack, and then
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want with it.
It's
And
a
it's real
fantastic
cheap.
effect.
And if you got most of the wood I get is like firewood, literally firewood, and it's full of holes and nails, and there's loads of shotgun pellets in it up our way. So you can make something look reasonably nice very cheaply.
Yeah.
But today I've got to finish off making a handle because the old one died. Look at this. That's what I'm reduced to.
Steve Gordon says hello to you.
Hello,
No,
everybody.
He's another one that'll confirm that you're mad as a box of frogs. Because he was sat
I
at the same
have
table.
no idea where this came from because I'm probably one of the most sane people I know.
No, you're not.
Right.
Stephen will back me up on that as well, won't you, Steve?
Did I have an ale with this gentleman?
Yes.
Oh well, okay.
That's Steve from the seminar.
Oh right,
Next
yeah,
Steve.
okay, yeah. How's he going?
He's good.
Excellent.
Steve, I wasn't being insulting then. I was just being big Steve, little Steve, because there was. Forget it.
You're digging a hole for yourself there, mate.
Yeah, I know. I can feel him looking at me now. I'll speak to you later. I did tell everybody at the start that this was just going to be a mess about today.
Well, that's why I tuned in, because there's not enough videos on paint drying on YouTube. We need more.
Well, I did do a 4-hour, I'm not sure if it's still up. I did do a 4-hour video once of literally just a piece spinning. No editing. Just every now and then I'd walk in, spray it, and walk out again 3 hours later. I think it's had something like 400 views.
Do you get paid for that, or do people just complain?
People just complained.
All right. Okay.
Well, I'm really happy with this, Pigtail. This has only taken me about 3 weeks to finish.
Wow, you must be a production turner.
Well, yeah, it's because of the production work I haven't been able to touch it.
I have things on the go all the time. I've got about 3 or 4 pieces constantly on the go.
I don't get a chance to do that. I wish I did.
Well, the thing is, I'll do them and I'll let them dry. So this is going to be it's like a lidded box, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be a fruit, and that's the lid, which will have be petals.
Yeah.
And then that will be held on a piece of yew, which will look like a tree. if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I constantly, all the time, I've got pieces on the go. So here's one.
I've got. I've just taken delivery of my next run of cabinet knobs.
Ooh,
Apprentice dropped them off this morning.
this is one I've got to pierce. I've got to sit down and pierce it. So it's
Yeah.
about 2 mil, probably a bit less. So I'll put this on and I've got to do some more and then I'll pierce it. So it's butterflies and opium poppies.
Oh, we're lovely. That's really nice.
But,
oh, yeah.
But you'll have to, but it's like so many things. I can only do like an hour or two of this and my wrist, it just kills me. So I'll put that one away and then I'll get on with something else.
Well, see, I've got 250 cabinet knobs to make. I'll do those next week, probably.
Hey, if you want to
Wednesday
buy
and
some, I've got about 100 already drilled and turned in a box. You can just put Mark Beckett made them, and I'll post them to you.
Are they oak?
Are they oak? I think they are actually.
Oh, blimey!
Let me see if I'll find them. Hang on.
That's very true, Glenn. I completely agree with you, mate. I've only really started doing the production work in the last year, and most of the stuff I do is very, dare I say it, Steve Jones-esque. I tend to use a skew for nearly as much as work as I can, then I don't have to sand. These cabinet knobs, I don't sand at all because I do them all with a skew. Apart from the one little cut, I do a single cove with a spindle gouge. And even that doesn't need sanding really because they're all being painted and stained. And if I sand them, I'd only sand them to 180. So there's no point because I'm getting a better than 180 finish off the tool. But I do the arty stuff in the evenings when I'm just relaxing. I do it for my own pleasure. This lacquer is giving a real depth to this Joe Sonia. That little bit of Joe Sonia that's just there. The skew and me do not get on. Barry, everyone says that. I used to say it. You go back and watch my early lives, I'm stood there on a live opening tins of wax. Oh, yeah.
I got about 25.
It's almost, that's a bit bigger than the ones I'm doing, but yeah, almost. Same shape. I do 250 a month. Got a rolling contract with a kitchen fitter.
You want to, I tell you, if you're going to make that many, you want to get like a copy lathe and just put the piece of wood on and get a router to do it. To turn these by hand perfectly, unless you're like Steve Jones or something, I just can't make any money from this. It's impossible.
Oh, I do.
Well, how much do you get for that? £3?
2. That was £500 a month. Just for doing those.
You could be making Pigtail.
And I don't provide them. I don't supply the wood. They supply the wood. They come to me already blanked and drilled. They go straight on to my friction drive. Three turns with a skew. 1 turn with a spindle gouge. Done.
Ooh.
Each one takes me about a minute.
Are you part machine now?
I am when I do those. It's when I go very quiet on social media. You can always tell for a couple of days every month I don't post much because all I'm doing is those.
You know, anything you can do to fund your work, you just do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not being funny. everything I've done in the last year is leading to something else. So it started off with joining the AWGB and getting onto the executive committee, then qualifying as a tutor, and then finally getting my RPT. So it's all built up to this isn't me playing at this anymore. The YouTube I'm playing with. The wood turning is my profession now. I teach, I demonstrate, I'm a dealer for several outlets. So I'm a dealer for True Grit. I'm affiliated with O3 Adhesives. I have the opportunity to be a dealer for 2 tool companies. As soon as I have my premises, I will announce who they are. Another wood turning finishes supply company I'm talking with. Just had an offer yesterday from another company to be a distributor for them. It's all leading to this is what I'm going to do for a living.
No, that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do my RPT this year.
Good. We need people. We need
Andy
people
asked
who
me a
are,
couple of times.
yeah. We need people who are enthusiastic, have skill and passion.
If
There's
you're
another
not
one in the
enjoy-
chat who
if you-
should be doing it as well. 2 of you
well, yeah,
Glenn
but if
should,
there's
and so should Stephen.
if
Steve
you
Gordon.
if you got the time, and it will take time, but yeah, the more people that can do it, you know, if you enjoy doing it, then do it.
Yeah, exactly. If you have a Kev at K9 Creations says he's just glanced at your channel. Is it the one with you bandsawing noodles? Yes, that's him.
That's the I
It's the
don't
only
make
video he's done.
videos. That's the only one I've done just to prove that, you know, if I can make $1 million out of YouTube, I would probably do it, but I can't. So I just get on and do the stuff that I do. It takes up too much time.
Right, final coat of this. What do you? What's your thoughts on rattle cans, or like I'm doing?
If I had the room and the money, I'd have a compressor. I don't. I've sprayed cars and bikes. Obviously, rattle cans are fine for small things, but if you've got a compressor, you can thin the lacquer, you can thin the paint, you can. It's just more versatile.
Yeah, it's I've found it's the lack of consistency with the rattle cans.
Well, if you think about it, you've got.
I've lost pieces because of it.
Yeah, well, you've got this much room, and you've got to have a propellant and the color or the paint or the finish in this much. If you've got a compressor, you've got this much air pushing through a tiny little pipe, and then you've got your can. So it's apples and pears.
I probably lost 3 really good pieces to inconsistent rattle cans. And when I say lost them, I mean that they gave me a crappy spray and I had to take everything off again. And I'd lost, it wasn't the same piece afterwards that it was when I started. And I was upset. I was really peed off.
The thing is with rattle cans, if you're going to use it as a lacquer finish, you're going to make sure that the can is warm, it's well shaken, and you've got to clean that nozzle, and you've got to make sure you get a couple of even sprays before you even go near your piece. Because how many times have you had a piece and you just picked up the can and gone, shh, and there's great big blobs of paint, and it, you know.
Exactly. Adams just said if he could afford to give up his job, he'd be giving it a go too.
Mark, the only reason I do this is because I'm unemployable.
Well, so am I, technically.
Nobody in their right. Yeah, but that's because of the things that have happened to you.
Everything
in
that
life.
happened to me. Yeah. I'm right. You could say I'm lucky or I'm unlucky. I'm unlucky because of what happened to me and because of everything that I lost because of what happened. And I am registered disabled and I'm still not fully recovered. And it'll probably be, I'll never be 100%. I'll never be 100% the man I was before. But what happened to me has allowed me to discover something I'm good at, that I have a passion for. And because I was a trained teacher, I find it easy to discuss and go over with people what it is that we do. So I can demonstrate it and I can teach it. I can tutor people. And I'm not one of these people who wants to live on benefits the rest of my life. I've been a hard grafter my entire life. And I want to get back to that. And the only way I can do that is by doing something I'm really good at. So that's what I'm building towards. So in a way, I'm lucky that I'm able to develop this because of everything that happened to me. But you could also say I'm unlucky because of everything that happened to me. I'm having to do this. I don't know. It works different ways, doesn't it?
Well, is the glass half empty or half full, or you just got a drink?
Somebody said I'm about to get pierced. I'm actually 2 feet away from it, but the camera makes it look like it's about to jab me in the shoulder. My elbow there is literally about 2 feet away. If I get a spindle gouge, so there's spindle gouge, right? Spindle. If I do that, that's still 3 inches off the tip. That's one thing people don't realize about YouTube. I'm sure Glenn will probably back me up on this. Camera angles on YouTube, when we're doing this, can be so deceptive. That's very true, Glenn. That's why it's easier to do YouTube videos. You can show things your way. People just watch what you do and can choose if they want to do it that way. Totally true. Glenn, why don't you, Glenn, have you got a webcam and like Stephen's doing, pop on the link that's pinned at the top. Come in as an earworm, mate.
Hey,
Be
look,
very, very happy to have you in.
here's one of Glenn's tools. One of the
Hey,
first
we've all
ones
got
I
them.
ever bought.
Everybody should have one of Glenn Teagle's carbides.
Yeah.
It has been a journey, Adam. By no means over. I like to tell my girlfriend that she's going out with a 4-year-old. Because I died in 2018. So I was like, I've reset. I'm only 4 years old. Glenn hasn't got a camera. He's just learned how to make a video. Fair enough, right? We'd be welcome anytime. I am really, really, I know I've said it, but I am spectacularly happy with this. I might just carry it away and do one more coat. Of course you can, Stephen. Absolutely. Thank you, Chris. That's very kind, mate. Oh, here we go. You got dressed then. Will I be polishing the pigtail finial? Yes, Susie, I will. Not quite sure. I haven't figured out yet how I'm going to do that. It might be just with... I have a product called Maguire's, which is... here's that one. Where's my Maguire's?
Hello, everyone.
No idea where that's... Hello, Pete. How you doing, buddy?
All right,
All
mate.
right.
All right. Yeah, I'm out in the workshop now, obviously.
Good. Stephen's
Well,
on
I'm
mute
spacing
because
your boot
he's...
next week
Pardon?
on Friday. I'm spacing your boot on Friday. Got a bit of wood you can have.
Oh, right. Okay, thank you. Which camera am I on? That one. Susie, there's something that you can use to... It's basically like a burnishing cream. It's like a plastic polish. I don't know where my bottle of Maguire's has gone. Which is really annoying because that is some good stuff. There it is. Should be in my cupboard. This stuff is like crack. Plast RX it's called. That brings up resin like a glass finish. So I'll probably use that on a cloth and do it by hand on that. But that'll be next week sometime. Because this needs time to cure. Glenn, what are you saying? Glenn, oh, there's Steve. We're a full house here now. Hello, buddy.
Good
Glenn,
day.
there's Steve.
How are you?
We're a full house here now. Somebody's got to turn the YouTube
You
down.
doing, mate?
Yeah.
Good day. How are you? How you doing, guys? Pete, how you doing, Steve?
Somebody's got to turn the YouTube
You
down.
doing, mate?
Steve, you
Yeah,
have to
good,
turn
thank
the
you.
YouTube down, bud.
How are you? How you doing, guys? Pete, how you doing, Steve? Yeah, very good.
I'm meeting you YouTube.
Yeah, good, thank you.
Steve Gordon, you have to mute your
Yeah,
YouTube, buddy.
yeah. Okay, mate.
I'm meeting you YouTube.
Yeah, good.
Just mute the tab that the YouTube's on. Then you can come back. Will that polishing work with the lathe turning? No, I won't be able to do it with the lathe turning, darling. I'll have to use a cloth and do it just by hand. Would do. Glenn's saying you have his original GT hollower. He's improved on that one.
Well,
The GT SCH4 it's fantastic.
can I send this back and get a new one?
Don't think he's gonna fall for that one. Colin's got to go and cut down a willow tree. Take care, Colin. Thanks for popping in.
Is that better, Mark?
That's better, buddy.
Okay, cool.
How are you?
Very good, mate. How are you? Is that better, Mark?
Yeah, good. That's better, buddy. Oh no, we still got the echo.
Very good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. No, we still got the echo.
Very good, mate. How are you?
So what are you watching us on, Steve?
What?
There you go. Yeah, that works.
Camera angles on YouTube when we're doing this can be so deceptive.
No. You've got to turn the YouTube volume down.
YouTube videos, you can show things your way. People just watch what you do and choose if they want to do it that way.
Would do. Glenn says, nice try, Stephen. So I think that's a no.
No.
How about no?
And if you've got a webcam and like Stephen's doing, pop on the link that's pinned at the top. Come in as near where I'm made. Very,
Sorry,
very happy
laugh at Steve Gordon, you've got to mute YouTube because they're nearing it back. And
It's
it's an
like
echo.
doing a tiny thing. Something.
Steve Gordon, you've got to mute YouTube. They're nearing it back. And it's an echo. Steve Gordon, you've got to mute YouTube. They're nearing it back. Steve Gordon, you've got to mute YouTube.
You're trying.
You're on an infinite loop now.
Yeah. I think he's sorted it now.
Is that sorted, mate?
That sounds like it's sorted now, yeah.
Sorry.
You have to wait 20 seconds to see if it comes back at you.
Yeah.
Bye, John. Thanks for popping in, mate. Lunchtime at the Fatherland. I hope that's a pub. Hello, Charlie. Not a lot, mate. Just doing a bit of varnishing. Stop it. It's not varnish. It's lacquer. Just doing a bit of lacquering on a piece. I'm really pleased with how that's come out. Not so much this one.
Just spray liquid
This one.
plastic work to spoil it.
Hey? That actually looks better on camera than it does in real life. It's got a bit of an orange peel about it.
Yeah, you can see the orange peel in the light reflection.
But the pigtail is coming out proper nice. Really
Did you do that this
nice.
morning, Mark?
What, this one?
Pigtail.
No, I've been doing this for about 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
I've just coloured. I did the first 2 coats. No, I did the first 2 coats of ebonising lacquer last night. Did another coat of ebonising lacquer this morning. And it's had 4 coats of lacquer, clear lacquer now.
Okay.
So that's going to have another 11 coats over the next few days just to build it. And I put the Joe Sonia just there on this morning. Actually, I put the Joe Sonia on, and then like an idiot, I did another coat of black lacquer and realised I'd lacquered over there. So that's the second go. But that's up to, how's that 5 coats of lacquer now?
Oh, that's lovely. Really nice. Seeing a lot of Stuart Mortimer's effects on you.
Yes. Well, you don't go and train with a man like him and not be affected by it. You know?
No, you don't. He's very, very talented without a doubt.
He's a proper master. Right, I'll take that off. That's going to come off and get set aside. As you can see, that one is, that's got a really nice finish.
Ooh, sexy finial.
Now, what do we think? Do we think that hold on, change camera. See if I can get this. Do we think that's going to be too big for that? I don't think it is.
No, that's fine. Got enough interest.
You know what, Mark? I do a lot of finials, right? And there is no kind of 1/3, 2/3. It's all a question of balance. So if you put that pot, once you take it off the chuck and put it on a flat surface and put the finial on there, does it look balanced to you as a piece, as one piece? That's the only thing. I mean, I did one the other day out of red cedar, and I made the finial about 6 inches, but because it's so thin, it balances. Well, I think it balances. You can all go to my Facebook page and tell me it doesn't now.
See, the pot is 4 inches and the finial is 4 inches.
No,
So
like I said,
rule of thirds is out the window.
Yeah, that
Just,
whole idea. If like I said, I made this pot.
but I think that balances.
Yeah, as well. Once it's dry, put it on there, and you'll see. If your eye is drawn away from the actual overall aesthetic of it, then it doesn't. But if you think it does, it does.
Yeah.
Anyway, the transition of that
Reflector
pigtail isn't
overhead.
at the bottom of it, is it?
Hey?
The transition of that pigtail isn't at the bottom of it. So that bottom section of the pigtail becomes part of the vessel.
Yeah. Kind of works. Do it like that. Yeah, kind of works. I think it will anyway. Just a problem. I should have been a yellow stripe there. Yeah. It's so funny.
Yeah, like what Pete said. If it's a continuation, the finial. If the finial's a continuation, and there's a point where that finial meets the pot, and it looks harmonious, then it works.
Yeah.
It's when you've got a pot and you've got, I don't know, you stick something ridiculous like that on it, and it's beautifully turned maybe, but it's not in proportion to the pot. It doesn't complement the. You see that a lot actually, and it's very easy to get carried away and say, you know, I'll make a 4-foot trembler and stick it on top of a pot. I mean, not me, because I'm not very good wood turner, but, you know.
Oh, do shut up.
The professionals out there in the world.
Yeah, whatever.
Ooh.
You do talk rubbish sometimes.
Or you can go for carving. See, that's a basic. So I'll carve that into like a fleur-de-lis kind of thing. Or that's another one I'm carving at the moment, and that will have. So I got a piece of wood, carve it, drill holes, cut it down.
Looks like the handle to a pair of scissors.
Well, all of this here.
You tell me now you drew a pair of scissors on a piece of paper.
Well, what it will look like 2 flower stems bent over, and it'll have a flower coming up in the middle.
But what you basically did was took that.
Yeah. Okay. Cut out the handles. Cut the handles on the inside out, and then put a ball and a finial in it, and you got one.
Yeah, hey, it works.
Well, I did one. I did a yew and holly one last week. Finished that off, and that was carved. Similar kind of idea, and that's how I start off with those things.
There's one I've just finished a while back.
Nice. Hold on, Steve. Let me bring you up full page.
You can't beat you, can you?
No.
There you
go. I love this stuff. This was a 3-limbed crotch. Just a bit of scrap that it's just lucky. It's still splitting and moving a little bit and doing a bit of whatever it wants to do. Just with a little.
Oh, you've chased threads in, or you?
No. It's nothing special. It just means that it's just a little animal urn. That's all it is. But it's just means that if it slips off, then nothing unpleasant's going to happen with the contents. But
yeah.
Do you glue those in after the remains of the person? Do they glue in, or do they keep them open?
Well, that's why I thread all the urns. I thread them so as they can be sealed, and unless they chose to undo it, the contents is safe.
Yeah. I made a pet urn once, and you have to work out how big the dog was.
Yeah, there's a ratio to work by to a degree.
I've got a where is it?
Yeah, I found a place really close to me in Watford, and they're like the #1 place in the UK for making pet urns. So I emailed them and gave them the stats, and they told me how many ounces, or actually milligrams. So I just worked it out with rice.
Yeah.
I've got these that I got from Carl Jacobson. So these brass threads.
Ah, right, yeah. Do you know what, Mark? I've just ordered some from ProCraft.
Yeah.
Because I do. One of the things I'm doing in the demo is obviously the crackle paint, but it's all also getting the ProCraft hinges and painting them. So I ordered some of those screw thread things. I've never used them before. They look pretty
What I
good.
have found as well, these are great. Not knocking them, but obviously buying them from the States, they're expensive and these are bronze, they're not brass. That's the 2-inch. I think they do a 3-inch. That's a 2.5. They do a 3.5 as well.
I think the ones I got from ProCraft are 34 mil. So what's that? But that's almost 1.5 inches, right?
Yeah.
34 is, yeah, 1.5 inches. If you go to a company called BES, so BES, BES, and you look for an immersion tank flange, I love the word flange, can't beat a good flange. So an immersion tank flange, that is one of these. They do a 3-inch in brass. And then if at the bottom of that, it says customers also bought, and there's an immersion tank washer cap that screws into the flange. That's the male and female threads. So the washer goes in the lid, that goes inside your vessel, screw them together, Bob's your uncle, about £6. Cheap as chips. Heard it here first, folks.
No, I use a lot of plumbing bits, brass bits, especially for finials.
I did an urn last year for a friend of mine whose wife sadly passed away. And I used the shower trap, PVC shower trap, cut the top off, and you've got the male and female PVC thread, and I epoxied them into the lid. That came with a rubber seal. Because it had human remains in it, it has to be hermetically sealed. So when the lid's done up tight, it has to be airtight.
Yeah, that's why I asked whether once you give the vessel to the person whose remains is going to be put in it, it's not up to you, it's up to them to seal it. Because obviously you can't seal it because you sent it to them and then they've got to put the stuff in. That's why I asked Steve that.
Yes. But you have to be able to, you have to provide them
with that seal.
You have to provide them with the means for it to be sealed. That's your responsibility.
I sent the lady super glue. I just sent her a little super glue thing.
Hi, Andrew. Andrew AGK's just come in.
Here, look. Brass 3/4 inch pipe fittings. Best finials ever made.
Yes, they work well.
Yeah.
And they're only a couple of quid.
Or you can buy them from Ashley Oils for £1. Different sizes.
What I do, every time I go to a show and actually buy a size of the ferrules, bring them home in a paper bag, put them somewhere safe. Then I go to B&Q and buy a bit of plumbing stuff because I can't find them.
This morning, I just went through loads of stuff and put it in little plastic containers and wrote on it what's actually in these boxes. And, you know, I'm sick of looking for things and not finding them.
Well, that's the way it is. Always.
Do you want to see the ugliest vase in the world?
No, I'm sure it's not, but go on then.
It is. It is. It's
well, maybe.
That's a bit harsh.
It is. It's awful. So what is going to happen with this? It's going to get reworked, and I'm going to use this in the demo. The ash. Obviously, it won't be purple. I was trying to get a good quality purple, and that's awful. That's just awful, Mark. I'm surprised you're even an RPT with showing something like that. No, come on. It looks beautiful.
Oh, yeah, it looks beautiful because it's you. So it's,
You need to polish it.
it's polished. Bad camera.
Oh, okay.
That's the
So
bad
what-
camera. Hold on. Put it there.
What did you polish it with? A Brillo pad?
Shut up.
Oh, it's beautiful.
See the light in it.
No,
Something different. Shut up, you. Did I polish it?
Only joking.
I know. Never mind.
Um,
One day you'll be funny.
I know, and then it'll be the
Keep
last
trying.
breath I take, and then I'll die.
Adam says he borrowed the Hope threading jig from Simon Hope for his dad's urn last year. Really, really easy to use. I've heard they are ridiculously easy. I've got a pair of thread chasers over there that I want to learn to do threads properly like Steve does. Once I am able to do them by hand, then I will probably reluctantly buy the threading jig and knock threads out 20 to the dozen fast as I can with that. But I want to be able to say I can do them by hand first.
I got 3 sets of male females for like 15 quid. Some guy was clearing out his garage, and I was getting a few lessons from the sadly departed Mick Stratton, because
Right.
he used to make beautiful.
Yeah, he's very, very good thread chaser.
So I got a piece of box here, which I'm going to make a box out of and thread it and give it to you guys. Are going to do something with Mick's charity. He used to do up the hospice.
Willen Hospice, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll make that up. I use this little piece of boxwood and make a little threaded box, and I'll send it to him or his
I've got
charity.
a piece of boxwood like that was given to me by Pete.
Yeah, nice.
That's a nice
I still
size
haven't
bit.
figured out what I'm up. That's probably going to be inserts. Got that up for inserts.
I've got
to do it, to be honest.
What?
It's best if you cut out music inserts, because it's not big enough to make anything major with.
No.
But
I've got 2 bits of ebony over there, which will make nice inserts for threads as well.
Yeah, once it gets down to like that, they're only good for inserts, really, the box.
Yeah.
Quite often you only need to make the female inserts anyway, because the male insert, you may want to do blackwood or contrasting material to whatever you're turning. So
plus it then spreads it. You can use over more and more pieces, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the boxwood, if it's something you're colouring or something, will quite often blend nicely into whatever you're turning anyway. If it's just the female part of the thread inserted into the top of the vessel or whatever.
I'm deciding whether I want to knock this back.
Yeah, knock it back.
Or let it bake. Let's let it sit for an hour, 24 hours.
What have you put lacquer on it, Mark?
Yeah, it's had 4 coats.
Do you know what? I'd take it in the house and I'd leave it for 24 hours, and then so it really cures, and then use like burnishing cream, because it comes out like gloves.
That's what I was going to use. I'm going to use that McGuire's.
But really, 24 hours in the house will make it really, really hard, cure properly.
There it is.
So
whatever excess lacquer I've got in my thing, I can.
What I was saying earlier in the chat, Mark, was quite often what you can do if you want that high build look, you can start the first, maybe, I don't know how many coats you feel you need, but say 4 or 5 coats with a matte lacquer, because it's got higher solids in it. So you'll get a much more depth of build. And then when you come to the final couple of coats, use gloss.
All right. That's a good idea.
It's just that, like I say, the matte lacquer's got a lot more solids in it, and it builds, and it's a thicker consistency than the gloss.
Yeah. So what I do need to do is go We've got a fabulous shop here in Bude. It's called Truscott's. It's up in the middle of the town. It's one of those, you walk in and the owner wears one of those brown coats. It's like Arkwright's.
Yeah, brilliant.
There's stuff you never knew you needed all over the place. Like,
4 candles.
yeah, fork handles, stove black. You know the old blackings? You can get
Blackboard
that there.
paint.
Yeah. And you go in there, you go, oh, it's just great. So, and he's got thinners. So I know I can go up there and get some.
Used to love buying a penknife from a shop like that when we used to go to North Wales on holiday.
Right. That's empty. But does need to be cleaned out because I haven't cleaned that out for 10 days. So that's going to get done. Put that away. Yeah, I'm going to use this. It's called McGuire's Plast RX. And it's actually a clear plastic and lacquer burnishing cream. Removes fine scratches, cloudiness, and stubborn oxidization. So I reckon that'll be, it's a bit finer than teacup. So I reckon that'll be good. Enchanted wood designs. How long do you wait before you buff lacquer? 24 hours. You need to let it cure, so it's hard. If you bake
Room
it,
temperature.
yeah, because this is automotive lacquer, this can be baked at 50 degrees. But we were saying this right at the beginning of the stream. Because it's going on wood, you have to be aware that the wood could move if you start to bake your lacquer on. So I don't bake my lacquers, even though I use an automotive lacquer. It can be baked, doesn't mean you should. Because normally this is going to go on a car. So if it's going on a car, you could bake it.
Also,
Cars don't
Mark,
tend to warp in the heat.
now you've gone over to using a spray gun like that for some of the work. You've also been opened up there for some of the water-based lacquers as well.
Really?
Yeah, some of them are fantastic. Yeah, I've used them. I used Morel's water-based lacquer. It's fantastic stuff. Really, really good. And of course, you've got the health benefits of that as well, not breathing it in and whatnot.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that one I've got there. That's an acrylic. So is that water-based?
Should be.
Yes,
So,
Do you know,
I would say so. Then, yeah, I would say
I-
read,
so.
read the can of what it is to dilute it with.
I'd rather read the spec sheet to see exactly what it was, but yeah.
ink for fountain pens. Sprays beautifully, great colours, non-toxic. Gets everywhere.
Lots of words I can't pronounce. It's a 1K acrylic smart clear.
Or Liquidex, you use that one? Yeah, these are really good as well. Nice colours.
Needs to be kept away from moisture. So supply 2 coats.
When it's cured or whilst it's curing?
What's that, sorry?
Kept away from moisture when it's cured or whilst it's
No,
curing?
that's just storage.
How about cleaning brushes? Is it about cleaning brushes?
No, I didn't say. May cause an allergic skin reaction, cause serious eye damage, drowsiness or dizziness. Keep away from heat, hot surfaces, sparks, open flames.
The most important thing, Mark, is to find out what proof it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend drinking it. It stinks. But it does say for professional use only, so that's okay.
Now all you've got to do is find a professional and get them to use it.
Oh, well, if only I had my badge handy. I could flash me badge at you. I still haven't got my patches sewn on. Really must.
Well, it's a different profession, Mark.
That's true. Right.
You have to find sewing professionals to put the badges on.
I've actually just ordered 2 smocks with them already embroidered. Good old
Someone's
levels.
put in the chat that she uses Winsor and Newton inks. People were showing ink earlier. And if problem I found with ink is if it's on a mantelpiece in sunlight, it does fade.
Yeah.
I use it on Christmas
This is-
decorations and things like that because they spend 50 weeks a year in a cardboard box. And when they come out, there isn't any sunlight anyway, so they're fine.
This has got a UV protection in it, so it should be good. Oh, I tell you what, I am really, wrong camera. I am really happy with that one.
Take it full screen, Mark.
Hold on. That's come out really nice.
That's nice work, mate. Well done.
Thank you. It's actually come out alright, that one. And you can see that this one's got a bit of an orange peel about it. But that'll flatten out when I burnish it down.
Yeah.
I'll take all those high spots off. That'll smooth out. And then the next 3 coats that go on will go on smooth. So I'll be happy with that. Right, well, I've been going 2.5 hours now. And it's 1:45. So I have to go and get some thinners, buy some lunch. Then I have the dubious task of trying to make myself look gorgeous before I go to my girlfriend's house this evening. So that's going to take 2 or 3 hours.
It'd take a lot longer than that, mate.
Shut up, you.
Let's put a
Thank you
question
to
there for
Wayne.
Mark. Was the
Go
pigtail
on in.
filed?
It was filed to begin with, so I set the grooves in with a file, and then I used drop the broom. I used that saber-tooth burr to deepen the grooves on the spiral, and then it was a combination of filing and sanding to get them smooth and how I wanted. And the pigtail was done with the Dremel, just to set the grooves in.
What sort of file was it? A Japanese file or?
Italian. Carini. No, not Carini. Karate. Karate files.
Yeah.
And it was that one. Round needle file.
Yeah.
Just to take the smooth out. Mainly sanding.
Yeah.
They're very hard to get. You can't order them direct from Italy because they won't send them to the UK because we're not in the EU. So if you want them desperately, you have to go to Lee Valley in Canada, order them from Lee Valley. Lee Valley will ship them to you, but it's about 45 quid no matter what you buy. So I bought those files and a tool roll from Lee Valley, and it cost me 45 quid in shipping just for that little packet.
Morning.
Yes, I know, but they are worth it. They are very good files. So thank you to the Wood Dude. Thank you to Pete from Twisted Trees. And thank you to Steve Gordon, my fellow AWGB Executive Committee member. Plug. for coming in and joining me. Thank you to Wayne who came in earlier. I'm going to say goodbye because I've got to go and make this look fashionable and exquisite. You know, I got 5 hours. Where's Steve gone? He's gone, is he? Okay. Bye, Steve. Bye, guys. I'm going to call it a day now.
Cheers, Mark. Chat
Take
to
it
you
easy,
soon.
mate.
Thanks to everybody coming in. Thanks for hanging out with us. Take care.
Take
See
care.
you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.